This video contains audio content only. There are no visual elements or images accompanying the audio. If you're expecting to see video footage, please note that this is an intentional audio-only presentation. We recommend listening to this content rather than watching the screen. Thank you for your understanding and enjoy the audio. Hello and welcome to our latest video exploring fascinating developments in the world of scientific research. Today, we're taking flight into the captivating realm of avian evolution. Our feathered friends have long captured our imagination, from their melodious songs to their incredible diversity of shapes, sizes, and behaviors. But have you ever wondered about their evolutionary journey? How did birds become the remarkable creatures we see today? Recent years have witnessed an explosion of new insights into bird evolution, thanks to cutting-edge genomic technologies and innovative research approaches. In this video, we'll soar through the latest findings that are reshaping our understanding of how birds evolved and diversified across millions of years. We'll begin by exploring how genomic data is revolutionizing our view of bird evolution. Then, we'll travel back in time to the aftermath of the dinosaur extinction, uncovering the rapid diversification that gave rise to the incredible variety of birds we see today. We'll introduce you to the major groups of birds, including some newly discovered evolutionary lineages that might surprise you. As we navigate through this avian evolutionary tree, we'll also examine the intricate relationships between these major bird groups, shedding light on how different bird families are connected. Along the way, we'll discuss some of the challenges scientists face in reconstructing bird evolutionary history and the innovative methods they're using to overcome these hurdles. Finally, we'll touch on the broader implications of this research, exploring how our enhanced understanding of bird evolution informs conservation efforts and deepens our appreciation of avian traits like flight and vocal learning. Whether you're a bird enthusiast, a biology student, or simply curious about the natural world, this journey through avian evolution promises to be an eye-opening experience. So, let's spread our wings and dive into the fascinating world of bird evolutionary research. 1. Recent advances in understanding bird evolution using genomic data. Our first stop on this ornithological odyssey takes us into the realm of genomics, where revolutionary techniques are providing unprecedented insights into bird evolution. Imagine having a time machine that allows you to peer into the genetic blueprint of birds from millions of years ago. In a sense, that's exactly what genomic data is offering scientists today. By analyzing the DNA of modern birds, researchers can reconstruct evolutionary histories that stretch back tens of millions of years. One of the most exciting developments in this field is the advent of whole genome sequencing. Instead of looking at just a few genes, scientists can now examine the entire genetic code of birds. This comprehensive approach is like upgrading from a blurry snapshot to a high-definition panorama of bird evolution. These genomic studies have revealed that the bird genome is remarkably compact compared to those of other vertebrates. Despite their relatively small size, bird genomes contain a wealth of information about their evolutionary past. By comparing the genomes of different bird species, researchers can identify similarities and differences that reveal how birds are related to one another and how they've changed over time. One fascinating discovery from genomic studies is the presence of what scientists call ultra-conserved elements in bird genomes. These are stretches of DNA that have remained virtually unchanged across millions of years of evolution, suggesting they play crucial roles in bird biology. By focusing on these ultra-conserved elements, researchers can construct evolutionary trees that reach far back into avian history. Genomic data has also allowed scientists to estimate when different bird lineages split from one another. This molecular clock approach, combined with fossil evidence, is helping to refine our understanding of when key events in bird evolution occurred. Another exciting application of genomic data is in understanding how birds adapted to different environments. By comparing the genomes of birds from diverse habitats, from the frigid Antarctic to tropical rainforests, scientists can identify genetic changes that allowed birds to thrive in these varied conditions. For example, genomic studies have revealed genetic adaptations in penguins that allow them to withstand extreme cold and dive to great depths. In hummingbirds, researchers have found genetic changes related to their unique hovering flight and high-energy metabolism. Genomic data is also shedding light on the evolution of bird behaviors. For instance, Studies of the genomes of vocal learning birds like parrots and songbirds have identified genetic similarities that may underlie their ability to mimic sounds and even human speech. Perhaps one of the most intriguing findings from genomic studies is the discovery of ancient viral DNA integrated into bird genomes. These genomic fossils provide a record of viral infections from millions of years ago and offer insights into the long-standing evolutionary arms race between birds and pathogens. As genomic technologies continue to advance, we can expect even more detailed insights into bird evolution. Projects are underway to sequence the genomes of all known bird species, promising a complete picture of avian genetic diversity. This wealth of data will not only enhance our understanding of bird evolution but also contribute to conservation efforts by identifying genetically unique populations that may require special protection. In essence, genomic data is allowing us to read the evolutionary story of birds written in their DNA. It's an exciting time in avian research, with each new genome sequenced potentially holding the key to unlocking more secrets of bird evolution. As we move forward, the integration of genomic data with other lines of evidence, from fossils to behavior studies, promises to provide an ever more detailed and nuanced understanding of how birds evolved into the diverse and fascinating creatures we see today. 2. The rapid diversification of birds after the dinosaur extinction. Now, let's take a journey back in time to one of the most pivotal moments in Earth's history, the mass extinction event that marked the end of the age of dinosaurs about 66 million years ago. This cataclysmic event, likely caused by a massive asteroid impact, wiped out approximately 75% of plant and animal species on Earth. But from this devastation arose an opportunity that would change the face of our planet forever: the rapid diversification of birds. Recent research has painted a fascinating picture of this critical period in avian evolution. It appears that in the aftermath of the extinction event, birds experienced an explosive burst of evolution, diversifying at a pace that was truly remarkable. Why did birds thrive in this post-apocalyptic world? The extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs and many other animal groups opened up a multitude of ecological niches. Suddenly, there were new opportunities for the surviving bird lineages to exploit. With less competition and predation pressure, birds were free to evolve and adapt to fill these vacant roles in the ecosystem. This period of rapid diversification is often referred to as an adaptive radiation. It's as if the evolutionary floodgates opened, allowing birds to evolve into a wide array of forms to take advantage of the newly available resources and habitats. One of the most striking findings from recent studies is just how quickly this diversification occurred. While earlier research suggested that modern bird lineages might have started diverging well before the extinction event, the latest genomic evidence points to a more concentrated burst of evolution in the few million years immediately following the dinosaur extinction. In evolutionary terms, this is an incredibly short timeframe. It's as if nature hit the fast-forward button on bird evolution, compressing millions of years of change into a relatively brief window of time. This rapid diversification helps explain the incredible diversity we see in birds today, from tiny hummingbirds to massive ostriches, from flightless penguins to soaring albatrosses. During this period, birds evolved a wide range of adaptations that allowed them to occupy diverse ecological niches. Some lineages evolved powerful beaks for cracking seeds, while others developed long, curved bills for probing flowers. Some birds became master flyers, while others adapted to life on the ground or in water. This rapid diversification also saw the evolution of many of the major bird groups we recognize today. The ancestors of modern songbirds, parrots, woodpeckers, and many other familiar bird types all emerged during this period of intensive evolution. Interestingly, this rapid diversification poses challenges for evolutionary biologists trying to reconstruct the early bird family tree. Because so many lineages split off from each other in such a short time, it can be difficult to determine the exact order in which these splits occurred. It's like trying to untangle a complex knot where many threads split off at nearly the same point. Another fascinating aspect of this rapid diversification is the evolution of bird brains. Recent studies suggest that birds experienced a significant increase in relative brain size during this period. This increase in cognitive capacity may have played a crucial role in allowing birds to adapt to new environments and lifestyles. The rapid diversification of birds after the dinosaur extinction offers a powerful example of evolutionary resilience. It shows how life can rebound and flourish even after catastrophic events. Birds not only survived the mass extinction but used it as an opportunity to evolve into one of the most successful and diverse groups of vertebrates on Earth. This period of avian evolution also provides valuable insights into how species adapt to environmental changes. As we face current challenges like climate change and habitat loss, understanding how birds responded to past global upheavals can inform our conservation strategies and help predict how species might respond to future changes. In essence, the story of bird diversification after the dinosaur extinction is a testament to the power of evolution and the resilience of life. From the ashes of a global catastrophe, birds rose to conquer the skies, lands, and waters of our planet, evolving into the diverse and remarkable creatures that continue to captivate us today. 3. Major bird groups, including newly discovered ones. As we continue our journey through the avian evolutionary tree, let's take a closer look at the major groups of birds that have been identified through recent research. These groups represent the main branches of the bird family tree, each with its own unique characteristics and evolutionary history. First, it's important to understand that birds are divided into two main groups: the Paleognathi and the Neognathi. The Paleognathi, or old jaws, include flightless birds like ostriches, emus, and kiwis, as well as the flying tinamous. These birds are characterized by a distinctive palate structure and other primitive features. The vast majority of bird species, however, belong to the Neognathi, or new jaws. This group is further divided into two main clades: the Galloncers and the Neos. The Galloncers include two orders: the Galliforms, landfowl like chickens, turkeys, and pheasants, and the Anseriforms, waterfowl like ducks, geese, and swans. These birds are often considered to be among the most primitive of the Neognathi. The Neos, which comprise about 95% of all living bird species, have been the subject of intense study and debate in recent years. New research has revealed some surprising relationships and even identified entirely new groups within this diverse clade. One of the most exciting discoveries in recent avian phylogenetic research is the identification of a new group called Elementaves. This newly recognized clade includes a diverse array of birds adapted to different elements: air, land, and water. The Elementaves include groups such as 1. Acorniths. This group, often called core waterbirds, includes seabirds like pelicans, penguins, and albatrosses. 2. Phathontimorphae. This clade includes tropic birds and the enigmatic sunbittern and kagoo. 3. Strassours. This group includes nightjars, swifts, and hummingbirds, showcasing an interesting mix of nocturnal and diurnal species. 4. Columbaves. This clade includes pigeons, sandgrouse, and masites. Another major group within Neos is the Teloraves, or core landbirds. This diverse group includes 1. Afroves. This clade includes birds of prey, kingfishers, woodpeckers, and their allies. 2. Australaves. This group includes passerines, perching birds like songbirds, parrots, and falcons. The recognition of these new groupings has reshaped our understanding of bird relationships. For example, the placement of falcons closer to parrots and passerines, rather than with other birds of prey, was a surprising finding that challenged previous classifications based on morphology alone. Another interesting group is the Passeria, which includes a diverse array of birds such as cuckoos, bustards, turacos, and others. This group showcases the incredible diversity that evolved during the rapid radiation of birds after the dinosaur extinction. It's also worth noting some of the odd birds out species that have been particularly challenging to place in the avian family tree. The Hoatzin, a leaf-eating bird from South America, is one such example. Its unique characteristics have made it difficult to determine its closest relatives, and it often ends up on its own branch in phylogenetic trees. The Neos also include several groups of shorebirds and waders, such as the Charadriiforms, plovers, sandpipers, gulls, and auks, and gruiforms, cranes, rails, and their allies. These birds showcase remarkable adaptations for life in wetland and coastal environments. One of the largest and most diverse groups within Neos is the passeriforms, or perching birds. This order includes more than half of all living bird species and is typically divided into two suborders: the passeri, os signs or songbirds, and the turani, sabacens. The incredible diversity of songbirds, from tiny wrens to large ravens, all fall within this group. Recent research has also shed light on the evolution of some unique bird groups. For instance, studies have confirmed that the flightless ratites, ostriches, emus, etc., evolved from flying ancestors multiple times, contrary to earlier beliefs that flightlessness evolved only once in this group. The recognition of these major bird groups and the discovery of new clades like elementaves highlight the power of modern genomic and phylogenetic methods. They remind us that even for a well-studied group like birds, there is still much to learn about their evolutionary relationships. Understanding these major bird groups is crucial not just for classification purposes, but also for interpreting patterns of evolution and adaptation. Each of these groups represents a unique evolutionary experiment, showcasing how birds have adapted to different ecological niches and environmental challenges over millions of years. As research continues, we can expect further refinements to our understanding of these major bird groups. The ongoing effort to sequence the genomes of all bird species promises to provide even more detailed insights into the relationships between different bird lineages and the evolutionary innovations that characterize each group. 4. Relationships between major bird groups. Now that we've explored the major groups of birds, let's delve into the fascinating web of relationships that connect these diverse avian lineages. Understanding these relationships is crucial for piecing together the evolutionary history of birds and comprehending how different bird groups are related to one another. One of the most significant recent findings in avian phylogenetics is the division of Neos into two major clades, Passeria and Columbia. This split represents one of the earliest divergences within Neos, occurring shortly after the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. The Columbia clade includes pigeons, sandgrouse, macites, and, surprisingly, flamingos and grebes. The close relationship between flamingos and grebes was an unexpected discovery, as these birds appear quite different morphologically. This finding underscores the importance of genetic data in revealing evolutionary relationships that may not be apparent from physical characteristics alone. On the other hand, the Passeria clade encompasses a much larger and more diverse group of birds. It includes most land birds, as well as many water birds. Within Passeria, we find several major subdivisions. 1. The waterbird clade, which includes seabirds, shorebirds, and wading birds. This group showcases how birds have repeatedly adapted to aquatic and coastal environments. 2. The landbird clade, which includes popular groups like songbirds, parrots, and raptors. The placement of falcons within this group, closer to parrots and songbirds than to other birds of prey, was a surprising finding that challenged traditional classifications. 3. The teloraves, or higher land birds, which include the australaves, passerines, parrots, and falcons, and the afroves, including birds of prey, kingfishers, and woodpeckers. One of the most intriguing relationships revealed by recent research is the close affinity between tiny hummingbirds and the much larger swifts. Despite their apparent differences, these birds form a clade within the newly recognized stressors group, which also includes nightjars and their allies. Another surprising relationship is the sister group status of cuckoos and bustards. These birds, with their very different lifestyles and appearances, were not previously thought to be closely related. Their grouping in recent phylogenies highlights how evolutionary relationships can sometimes defy our expectations based on morphology or behavior alone. The position of the hoatzin, a unique leaf-eating bird from South America, has been a persistent puzzle in avian phylogenetics. Recent analyses suggest it may be an early offshoot within Neos, but its exact placement remains a subject of debate. The difficulty in placing the hoatzin underscores the challenges in resolving some of the earliest branches in the bird family tree. Within the diverse passeriforms or perching birds, recent studies have helped clarify relationships between major songbird lineages. For example, research has confirmed the early divergence of the New Zealand wrens, supporting the idea that these birds represent an ancient lineage of passerines. The relationships between different groups of birds of prey have also been clarified. While traditional classifications grouped all diurnal raptors together, genetic studies have shown that falcons are more closely related to parrots and passerines, while eagles, hawks, and their relatives form a separate group within the afros. This finding suggests that the similarities in appearance and behavior between falcons and other birds of prey are the result of convergent evolution rather than shared ancestry. Another interesting relationship revealed by recent studies is the close affinity between swifts and hummingbirds. Despite their very different appearances, these birds form a clade within the Strassours group. This relationship suggests that the remarkable flight abilities of both swifts and hummingbirds may have a shared evolutionary origin. The position of the caprimulgiforms, which includes nightjars and nighthawks, has also been clarified. These nocturnal birds are now known to be part of the Strassours clade, related to swifts and hummingbirds. This grouping highlights the diverse adaptations that can evolve within a single evolutionary lineage. Within the waterbird assemblage, recent studies have confirmed the close relationship between pelicans and herons, as well as between frigatebirds and gannets. These groupings reflect shared adaptations to aquatic lifestyles and fishing behaviors. The relationship between penguins and other seabirds has also been a subject of recent research. Genetic studies have placed penguins within a clade that includes albatrosses and petrels, suggesting that the extreme adaptations of penguins for underwater flight evolved from a flying ancestor. Among the Paleognathi, or ratites and tinamous, recent research has overturned the traditional view of ratite evolution. Rather than all flightless ratites sharing a common flightless ancestor, studies now suggest that flightlessness evolved multiple times independently in different ratite lineages. This finding emphasizes the importance of flight loss as an evolutionary strategy in certain environments. The relationship between the two orders of gallonsaurs, galliforms, landfowl, and anseriforms, waterfowl, has been confirmed by genetic studies. These groups, despite their very different appearances and lifestyles, share a common ancestor and form one of the earliest diverging lineages of Neognathi. Recent research has also shed light on the relationships within the diverse order Charadriiformes, which includes shorebirds, gulls, and auks. Studies have identified three major lineages within this group: the plovers and their allies, the gulls and their relatives, and the sandpipers and jacanas. The relationships between these lineages help explain the diverse bill shapes and feeding strategies seen in this group. The position of the hoatzin, a unique leaf-eating bird from South America, has long been a subject of debate. Recent analyses suggest it may be an early offshoot within Neoves, but its exact placement remains uncertain. The difficulty in placing the hoatzin underscores the challenges in resolving some of the earliest branches in the bird family tree. Understanding these relationships between major bird groups is not just an academic exercise. It provides crucial insights into the evolution of key traits and adaptations. For example, the repeated evolution of waterbird lifestyles in different lineages tells us about the adaptability of the avian body plan. The surprising relationships between some groups, like falcons and parrots, remind us that appearances can be deceiving when it comes to evolutionary relationships. Moreover, these relationships help us understand patterns of biogeography and dispersal in birds. For instance, the close relationship between New World vultures and storks, rather than with Old World vultures, tells a story of convergent evolution and helps explain distribution patterns of these birds. As our understanding of bird relationships continues to evolve, we can expect further refinements to this picture. Ongoing genome sequencing efforts promise to provide even more detailed insights into the evolutionary history of birds. These efforts may help resolve some of the remaining uncertainties in the avian family tree, particularly concerning the earliest divergences within Neoves. In conclusion, the study of relationships between major bird groups is a dynamic and exciting field. Each new discovery not only clarifies our understanding of bird evolution but also raises new questions. As we continue to unravel the complex tapestry of avian evolutionary relationships, we gain a deeper appreciation for the incredible diversity and adaptability of birds. 5. Challenges and methodological advances in constructing bird phylogenies. Constructing a comprehensive and accurate phylogeny of birds has been a monumental task for researchers, fraught with challenges but also marked by significant methodological advances. Let's explore some of these challenges and the innovative approaches scientists are using to overcome them. One of the primary challenges in constructing bird phylogenies has been the rapid radiation of many bird lineages, particularly within neodes. This rapid diversification, which occurred over a relatively short period following the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, resulted in many lineages diverging almost simultaneously. This creates what scientists call a hard polytomy, a situation where multiple lineages branch off at nearly the same time, making it difficult to determine the exact order of branching events. Another significant challenge has been the phenomenon of incomplete lineage sorting, ILS. ILS occurs when ancestral genetic variation is randomly sorted into descendant lineages, potentially causing gene trees to differ from the actual species tree. This is particularly problematic for groups that underwent rapid radiation, as there may not have been enough time for genetic differences to accumulate between speciation events. Convergent evolution has also posed challenges for phylogenetic reconstruction. When unrelated species evolve similar traits due to similar environmental pressures, it can create misleading similarities that confuse traditional morphology-based classifications. For example, the similar appearance of falcons and hawks led to their long-standing classification together, despite genetic evidence now showing they are not closely related. Long branch attraction is another issue that has complicated phylogenetic analyses. This phenomenon can cause distantly related lineages to be incorrectly grouped together if they have both undergone rapid genetic change. This has been a particular issue for some bird groups with no close living relatives, like the Hoatzin. Despite these challenges, researchers have made significant methodological advances that have greatly improved our ability to reconstruct bird phylogenies. One of the most important has been the shift from using a small number of genes to whole genome analyses. This approach, known as phylogenomics, provides a much more comprehensive view of evolutionary relationships and helps to overcome issues like ILS by considering a much larger number of genetic markers. Another crucial advance has been the development of more sophisticated statistical models for phylogenetic inference. These models can account for complexities like different rates of evolution in different parts of the genome, or different patterns of evolution in different lineages. For example, multi-species coalescent models have been particularly useful in addressing the challenge of ILS. The integration of fossil data with molecular phylogenies has also been a significant advance. By incorporating information from the fossil record, researchers can better calibrate the timing of evolutionary events and provide a more accurate picture of when different bird lineages diverged. Advances in DNA sequencing technologies have also played a crucial role. Next-generation sequencing techniques have made it possible to generate large amounts of genomic data quickly and cost-effectively, even from small amounts of starting material. This has been particularly valuable for incorporating data from rare species or museum specimens into phylogenetic analyses. Researchers have also developed new approaches for analyzing challenging parts of the genome. For example, methods for analyzing ultra-conserved elements, UCEs, regions of the genome that are highly conserved across diverse species, have provided valuable insights into deep evolutionary relationships. The development of powerful computational tools and algorithms has been crucial in handling the enormous datasets generated by genomic studies. High-performance computing clusters and sophisticated software packages have made it possible to analyze datasets that would have been unmanageable just a few years ago. Another methodological advance has been the use of transposable elements as phylogenetic markers. These jumping genes can provide valuable information about evolutionary relationships, as their insertion points in the genome can be treated as rare genomic changes that are unlikely to occur independently in different lineages. Researchers have also made progress in addressing the challenge of missing data. New statistical approaches can handle phylogenetic datasets where not all species have data for all genes, allowing for the incorporation of more species into analyses even if complete genomic data isn't available for all of them. The use of target enrichment methods, which allow researchers to selectively sequence particular regions of the genome across many species, has also been a valuable advance. This approach provides a good balance between the completeness of whole genome sequencing and the practicality of sequencing a large number of species. Despite these advances, challenges remain. Resolving the deepest branches in the bird tree of life, particularly the early divergences within neos, continues to be difficult. There's also ongoing debate about how to best analyze and interpret the massive datasets generated by phylogenomic studies. Looking to the future, emerging technologies like long-read sequencing promise to provide even more detailed genomic data for phylogenetic analyses. There's also growing interest in integrating phylogenomic data with other types of information, such as morphological data, geographical distributions, and even behavioral traits, to provide a more comprehensive understanding of bird evolution. In conclusion, while constructing accurate and comprehensive bird phylogenies remains a complex challenge, the field has seen remarkable progress. The combination of technological advances, new analytical methods, and creative approaches to long-standing problems is continually improving our understanding of the evolutionary relationships among birds. As methods continue to improve and more data becomes available, we can look forward to an ever clearer picture of the avian tree of life. 6. Implications for understanding bird traits and conservation. The advancements in our understanding of bird phylogeny have far-reaching implications, not only for our knowledge of evolutionary history but also for our comprehension of bird traits and our approach to bird conservation. Let's explore some of these implications. First, let's consider how our updated phylogenetic understanding informs our view of bird traits. One of the most exciting aspects of having a well-resolved phylogeny is that it allows us to trace the evolution of specific traits across the bird family tree. This approach, known as ancestral state reconstruction, can reveal whether a trait evolved once and was inherited by descendants, or whether it evolved multiple times independently. For instance, our refined understanding of rat-height relationships has revealed that flightlessness evolved multiple times independently in this group, rather than once in a common ancestor as previously thought. This finding changes our perspective on the evolution of flightlessness and suggests that the loss of flight may be a relatively easy evolutionary transition under certain circumstances. Similarly, our understanding of the relationships between major bird groups has shed new light on the evolution of vocal learning, a trait that underlies birdsong and is of great interest due to its parallels with human language acquisition. The current phylogeny suggests that vocal learning evolved independently in three groups: songbirds, parrots, and hummingbirds. This convergent evolution of a complex trait is fascinating and raises questions about the genetic and neurological underpinnings of vocal learning. The phylogeny has also informed our understanding of the evolution of bird flight. The recognition that swifts and hummingbirds are closely related, for example, suggests that their remarkable flight abilities may have a shared evolutionary origin. This insight prompts new questions about the evolution of flight muscles, wing shapes, and other adaptations for aerial agility. Our updated phylogenetic understanding also has implications for the study of bird cognition. The finding that falcons are more closely related to parrots and songbirds than to other raptors raises intriguing questions about the evolution of cognitive abilities in these groups, given the renowned intelligence of parrots and corvids, members of the crow family. In terms of conservation, phylogenetic information is increasingly being incorporated into conservation strategies. One key application is in the concept of phylogenetic diversity, which considers the evolutionary distinctiveness of species in addition to their ecological roles. Species that represent long, unique branches in the bird tree of life may be prioritized for conservation because their loss would represent a greater loss of evolutionary history. For example, the recognition of the evolutionary uniqueness of the hoatzin, which appears to be on its own long branch of the avian tree, underscores the importance of conserving this species and its habitat. Similarly, the understanding that New Zealand wrens represent an ancient lineage of passerines emphasizes the conservation value of these small, unassuming birds. Phylogenetic information can also inform conservation strategies by highlighting cryptic diversity, cases where what was thought to be a single species actually represents multiple, genetically distinct lineages. This can lead to the recognition of new species or subspecies that may require specific conservation attention. Moreover, understanding the evolutionary relationships between birds can help in predicting how species might respond to environmental changes. Closely related species often share similar traits and ecological requirements, so the response of one species to habitat changes or climate shifts might provide insights into how its relatives might fare. Phylogenetic information is also valuable in studying and managing bird diseases. Closely related bird species are more likely to be susceptible to similar pathogens, so understanding evolutionary relationships can help predict disease spread and inform control strategies. In the realm of climate change biology, phylogenies are being used to study how bird traits related to climate adaptation have evolved. This can help predict which species might be most vulnerable to climate change and inform conservation planning. The evolutionary insights provided by modern phylogenies are also informing captive breeding programs. By understanding the evolutionary relationships between species, conservationists can make more informed decisions about which species to prioritize for captive breeding and which populations to use as sources for reintroduction efforts. Phylogenetic information is also being used to study the evolution of migration in birds. By mapping migratory behavior onto the bird family tree, researchers can investigate how and when migration evolved, and potentially predict how migratory patterns might change in response to global climate change. In the field of paleontology, our refined understanding of bird phylogeny is helping to place fossil species in their proper evolutionary context. This is providing new insights into the timing and pattern of bird diversification and helping to fill in gaps in the fossil record. Looking to the future, the increasing integration of phylogenetic information with other types of data, such as detailed ecological information, climate data, and information on human impacts, promises to provide an even more comprehensive framework for bird conservation. This integrative approach could help identify not just which species are most in need of conservation attention, but also which specific populations or habitats should be prioritized. In conclusion, our advancing understanding of bird phylogeny is far more than an academic exercise. It's providing crucial insights into the evolution of bird traits, informing conservation strategies, and deepening our appreciation of the incredible diversity of birds. As our phylogenetic knowledge continues to grow, we can expect it to play an increasingly important role in both bird research and conservation efforts. As we wrap up this exploration of recent advances in bird evolution research, it's clear that we're in an exciting era of discovery. The application of genomic technologies and sophisticated analytical methods is revolutionizing our understanding of how birds evolved and diversified. We've seen how the rapid radiation of birds following the dinosaur extinction created a challenging but fascinating puzzle for evolutionary biologists to solve. We've explored the major groups of birds, including newly recognized clades like elementaves, and examined the complex web of relationships that connect these diverse lineages. We've also delved into the challenges of constructing bird phylogenies and the innovative methods researchers are using to overcome these hurdles. From whole genome analyses to sophisticated statistical models, these advances are providing an ever clearer picture of the avian tree of life. Perhaps most importantly, we've considered the broader implications of this research. Our improved understanding of bird evolution is informing conservation strategies, providing insights into the evolution of key traits like flight and vocal learning, and even offering clues about how birds might respond to future environmental changes. As we look to the future, it's clear that the field of avian evolutionary biology is full of promise. Ongoing efforts to sequence the genomes of all bird species, coupled with continuing methodological advances, promise to provide even more detailed insights into bird evolution. This research isn't just about satisfying scientific curiosity, although it certainly does that. It's about gaining a deeper appreciation for the incredible diversity of birds and how they came to be. It's about understanding our feathered neighbors better, from the hummingbird at your feeder to the penguin in the Antarctic. And ultimately, it's about using this knowledge to ensure that the diversity of birds is preserved for future generations to study and enjoy. So the next time you hear a bird song or watch a flock in flight, take a moment to marvel at the long evolutionary journey that brought that bird to this moment. Each bird is a testament to millions of years of evolution, adaptation, and survival. And thanks to the dedicated work of researchers around the world, we're understanding that journey better than ever before. We hope you've enjoyed this journey through the fascinating world of bird evolution. If you found this video interesting, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more explorations of cutting-edge scientific research. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. What aspects of bird evolution would you like to learn more about? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this ornithological adventure. Until next time, keep looking up. You never know what evolutionary marvel might fly by.